are going to deal with spectral indices as we discussed in the previous video. Um, we have already learned how to download the Landsat data. So just go ahead and download it just like we did in the previous video. And then you keep it in a folder. You realize I have Sentinel and then Landsat here, and then I have the shape files that we'll be using also. You keep them here. Or better still, you can use the Google engine to download all of these. So we will begin by launching our focus really will be on the three, that is bent area for Bokon, soil index for Dunkwa-on-Offin, and then vegetation for Tema. So based on the assignment, so the NDVI the vegetation we can do NDVI, we can do EVI, any of them. So let's bring our data. You can connect your folder to your catalog just like I have here. So this is my Landsat data. Let's start with Bokon. You open Bokon and then you realize there is this MTL file, which is basically the composite data. So you can just use this without any. So just add it to your map and then it should appear here. All right. So this is what we have. So we can go ahead, we can tweak, we can work with these two because we know the bands for Landsat 8. Red is for green, not. So we can just change them or we can just ignore it and then work. So all right. So that we have our false color. So quickly we move to imagery. When you get to imagery, don't forget that what we are doing for Bokun is to find the bent index. So we'll be using NBR. So when you click on indices, you come to imagery, you click on indices, you will find NBR here. We have two. This is the burn area index, and then this one does, I think, more of atmospheric corrections and illumination and all of that. So let's use the NBR. So we just click on the NBR, and then it will ask us which of our bands is near infrared, and we know these things. Or in fact, if you don't, you can just Google it. Which band is which color? So our infrared band for Landsat 8 is near infrared, so it should be band 5, and then our short wave should be band 6, and then we just click OK. It will do the magic for us. All right. So as you can see, this is so you can see Ghana, the boundaries over here. So it's covering just a part of Ghana and then extending into Burkina Faso. So you can see the numbers. The ones that are closer to the negative. If it's a negative figure, that is a burn area, and if it's closer to, in fact, the figures are 0.6 to 1 means that the vegetation is healthy, and then 0.6 to 0.1 to 0.6 means it's a grassland. So these indexes are there. I'll put it in the comment section. So this is what we have. We can go ahead and change the symbology so that it looks perfect, but we don't want to do that yet. We want to clip Bokun because our interest is Bokun, but I realize this data is taking the whole of this site. So we want to clip it to Bokun. So we will import our shapefiles. So if you have the shapefile, you can just find any of these. I think Ghana should be Yeah. So we can work with this. So we will remove this and then we'll work with this. So when you right click on it, you go to attribute table, then we find Bawku. We should just look for Bawku. Bawku, B-A, yes, Bawku Municipality. This. So when you double click, it's supposed to show. You see that it's showing over here. So we now want to extract only this layer. So we'll come and right click on this again, go to selection, and then we'll tell it to make this a layer from the selected features. So it will extract it and make it a layer. We can just close this, and then now we have our Bawku here. Let's rename it to Bawku. Bawku. So we have it here. Now, the next thing you are supposed to do is, because this data, this is a large area, let's clip this selected area, this Bawku area, Bawku municipality, to the Landsat data here. So we will go to our geoprocessing tool, and then we will look for clip. You can also do mask, um, and that should work also. Extract to mask, it should work, but we'll use clip raster. So let's look for clip raster. We'll come here. We will select our inputs. Our inputs is the this one, the bend ratio. So we'll select this one, and then our extent is Bawku, the one we just created. We will tell it to use the extent of Bawku. It should input all the features and maintain the clipping extent of Bawku, and then we'll run it. It should extract the Landsat, the features on the Landsat image onto this polygon. So this is it. This is the clip that we have here. So I can now take this out. I can now remove this and then remove this reflectance, and you can see my Bawku quietly sitting here. This. So now we've extracted. We have our bend area, and then we have clipped it. You can just play around. You can go to symbology. Because it's a bent area, you can use red to green. So we change this to, um, let's look for something like, okay, we can use this. Okay, so the areas that are bent are supposed to be the negative areas, but you see that it's showing green, which is not perfect. So we can just invert it, and then it is anytime you see the red areas, those are the bent areas. Then the green is not. The yellow means it's a mix of vegetation and bent. But our focus is really on the bent areas, so we don't need to worry about that. So basically we are done. This is an automated process, so we are done. You can just go to if you want to create a map out of it, you just go to um, you should go to new layout. You can go to new layout. You select an orientation. You go to insert. You go to map frame, and then you see your map is there. So you can just do this, drag it over the area. Your map will come, and you can play around it. You can still go to insert, and then insert your legend, and then you draw over that area. It should also come. You put in your title, and then your skill, any other thing you want to do, you play around with this. Let's go back to our focus. So we've now dealt with one issue. We've dealt with um, near near sorry, bend area. We've dealt with the bent area index. So let's remove this. Let's bring in another um, data. The next thing we want to do is to do soil index of Dunkwa. So we'll go back to Landsat. This is Dunkwa. So we open Dunkwa. Then we'll select this. You can just press on your control button and select the bands you want. We want band 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So we may not use everything, but let's just select it. Add to map. So you right click and then you go to add to map, and then it should show in your contents pane. I will explain to you why we are picking the bands for this, but we did not pick the bands for the bent area. So you see the bands are showing over here. You don't have to merge it. You don't have to composite it. We can work with it. It's fine. If you also want to do a composite, it's in the previous video. So this is one of the bands. That's the area. So now our focus is to perform a soil index. Normally we will go to imagery, go to indices, and then we will look for bare soil. But here is the case, we don't have bare soil here. I don't know if you are using a version that has bare soil, you can just go ahead and click on it and it will automate the process. But if you have same as we are seeing here, then you may want to go to the geoprocessing to look for raster calculator, and then you select that of the spatial, and then you expand it. Now, so there's a formula, or there's a formula for calculating bare soil. So you see that the bands that we imported here, they are showing over here. If we had not imported these bands and we had used just a single composite data, we may not have been able to extract the bands here. That's why I said you should bring the bands, because we'll be needing it. So let's write a simple equation to do this analysis for us. So bare soil, that is bare soil index, BSI. It is shortwave infrared plus the red band, all subtracted from near infrared plus the blue band. Then you divide all of these by the same formula. So in fact, let's do it. So what's our shortwave infrared? So our shortwave infrared for Landsat 8 is band 6. So we'll just double click on band 6. This is band 6. You double click on it. First of all, let me come back here. You put quotation brackets double, and then you come back here. Then you do plus red band. The red band we said is what? Band 4. So you look for band 4. You click on it. So you see that it's showing over here. So it's showing plus, no, let's go back here. Let's clean all of these. And so we'll put our plus here, and then we'll do band 4. So it should be this plus this. You get it? Then we'll close the first bracket. Then we'll double click on minus. So we are subtracting all of these from another equation. So the next equation, you also open another bracket here. Then you do near infrared plus blue. Near infrared is band 5. So you double click on band 5. So band 5 plus, you see plus blue, and blue is band 2. Where is 2? Band 2. and then you will close the brackets 2, because this is the end of the numerator. So you have 2 here. This one is for the formula in. This one is for the outer, the main, the whole of the numerator. So beginning 2, you end with 2. Now you divide the whole of this numerator. So you click on this. So you divide the whole of this by the same equation, this same equation that we have written. You are dividing it by the same thing. The only difference is that, okay, I'll show you. The only difference is that, you see, in the first one, when we did the first shortwave and red, we did minus the near infrared, which is band 5. So in this case, we are not going to subtract again. We are going to add. So it means that the numerator is subtraction, the denominator is addition. So we'll come back here. You see our numerator, our subtraction is here. So we'll do plus. So now look at the code very well. You see that, look at the first line. The first line is subtracting from the second line. Then it will divide the denominator. This denominator, you see that the one at the top is subtraction, but over here is addition. That's the only thing you change. And then you save it. I would like to call it BSI. That is Bare Soil Index. And this is for Dunkwa-on-Offin. So BSI Dunkwa. I think that should be fine. And then you run it. And if the code is correct, that should work. So it has created it for us. So our focus is the white areas. The white areas are the bare soil. All the areas that are white, those are the areas that are bare soil. So that is our focus. So we can just go ahead and symbolize it, but I don't want to do that. Let's go and look for Dunkwa-on-Offin, and from our map, I believe Dunkwa-on-Offin. So let's come here. Let's go to attribute data, and then we'll look for. But I believe Dunkwa-on-Offin is not a municipal. I don't think it's a district. So I don't have it here. But then it falls within another area, which is so you see this is the D column. There is no Dunkwa-on-Offin here, but it falls between, I think, Upper Dentura. So let's look for Upper Dentura. Yeah, this one. So let's work with this. So the same process, right click, because we've selected, you go to selection, you make a layer out of it, and you can turn this off, and then you name this Dunkwa. Dunkwa. That's it. You just close this one. Now the same process again. We are going to mask this on this. So the same clipping process. You come back here, you look for clip. That's in the due processing clip raster. And then which raster are we dealing with now? We are dealing with what did we just do? BSI, right? So this one. BSI Dunkwa. And then we should clip it to Dunkwa. That's our shape file. It should take the extent of Dunkwa and then maintain the clipping extent, and then run. All right, so you can see this over here. So you can remove Dunkwa so that you see your clipped area. You can remove this one also. And then let me remove all of these bands. We don't need it now. So this is Dunkwa clip. And so the we've performed bare soil, all the areas that are in the white column, the positive areas. In fact, the spectral index is such that those in the positive column match with our focus, what we are looking for. So whether it's NDVI, NDBS, NDWI, all those things, if we are looking for water, the white areas talks about water. If we are looking for snow, the white area speaks to snow. So this one is bare soil. It means that the white areas, the positive areas, they speak to the bare soil over here. So we just click on it, right click, go to symbology, and then we can also change it. If we are dealing with soil, then we can look for maybe brown to yellow. I think, okay, we can also work with this. Let's see. Um, brown to yellow. Okay, let's see if we can work with this. I think this is fine. But you can just come here and then look for brown to yellow. It should be fine. Brown to yellow. And see, yeah, so yellow to dark. Yeah, so I prefer this. So now you see that the dark areas are at the top. So all these areas, the positive ones, these are the bare land. These areas are the bare land. The dark ones over here. So you see this one, we had to write an equation to perform this. It was not automatic. Let's do one last automatic, and then we are good to go. Let's do. Let me turn this on. Let's do. So let's come. Okay, let's do NDVI. That's the vegetation for Tema. So let's do NDVI. In fact, let me even turn this on so that you see it well. This is Dunkwa. Um, Dunkwa clip. So look at it. You can see when I take this out, you realize that those areas looks bare as compared to the yellow areas. Let's do Tema. So go back. This is Tema. This one, we don't need all of that. We have a predefined formula. So we can just use the composite band. This one, spectral. We just add it and it should appear here. Okay, so this is let's call it the composite of our um, of Tema here. We will extract Tema from it. It's so let's the same process that we did. Let's just follow the same process here, and we'll be good. 4, 3, 2. So let's just go ahead to imagery, and then we'll go to indices. And I mean, pretty obvious, we have NDVI here. So NDVI they have a simple formula: near infrared minus red divided by near infrared plus red. So our near infrared for Landsat 8 is band 5. This should be band 6. No, red band is 4. Red band is 4. So just select these two, and then the magic happens. I mean, look here. You can see the positive layers, the white areas. So we are looking for vegetation. So if the white areas are the vegetated areas, you see that the water is not reflecting well here. So all of these areas, water, we have some shadows here. But then because this is not reflecting, it doesn't have a good uh, reflectance. It's dark. So the white areas are vegetation. So if we take this out, we should see vegetation there. So if I take this out, I should see vegetation, just like you are seeing. So let's do the clip thing again. Let's come here. Where is my data? Here. You come to attributes, and then let's look for Tema. Let's look for Tema. Tema. Tema Metropolitan. So this is it. So we will do the same thing. Selection, make layer from selected. We can close this and then call this Tema. Yeah. And guess what? The next thing is to clip. I mean, we've done this. So clip. Clip. That is, so what are we working with? We are working with the NDVI, yeah. NDVI reflectance. Our extent is Tema. We should pick this. Clip, clip, bam. So we run and we should have this. So let me just remove this. Let me remove this and then remove this. And I believe I should have my Tema. This is my Tema. So this one is also in NDVI. So I mean, now it means all the dark areas are not, this is vegetation, NDVI. So it means the dark areas are not vegetation areas, probably built up. And when you look at the world map around it, you see that these are built up areas, the dark areas. We have just a few vegetation here. So let's symbolize it. Let's look for green, red and green. This should work. Yeah. So we can invert it so that it represents what we are dealing with. So the only area that is reflecting chlorophyll, that is showing that there is vegetation, is this area. When I remove it, see, you realize it's true. That's the only area. The rest, all of that place um, is the whole of that area is built up. Then we have just few vegetation areas. The yellow areas are mixed areas. So I mean we are done. We are this is NDVI. The other we did bear and then um we did bear and then we did bare soil and then bent areas. So just like I said, you can just always come to layout. For example, what we just did, you can come to insert here, come to map, you see what we did here, and then you draw it here. You draw over it and your map should be here. You add your title, your whatever, you add it, and you are good to go. When you are done, you can also input it into AI to do interpretation for you. So see you in the next one. I'll do another video where I'll show you where how to extract the areas. For example, if you need this only this area, you